Pamela Spence, medical herbalist here, and these are my clinic notes for the week. So this week, where I'm living, the weather has been doing odd things. It's been going from warm a couple of weeks ago to cold, really chilly, like even thought about putting my heating on the other night, or putting a fire on, and reaching for the hot water bottle. To today, where we're all really hot, walking about in flip-flops, and feeling a little bit lazy, to be honest. So if you've been watching this series, you'll see last week that I was talking about the change into the summer season, and the fact that the heat was rising. Take care not to get caught out by a sudden chill, because that will absolutely penetrate through your defences, and that's when we get summer colds and things. So very much the weather's been demonstrating the need to be careful about that over the last week. So I'm very mindful of that. Other things people have been talking about in clinic this week include the fact that grass pollen season is at its absolute zenith. So if you are a grass pollen person, if it affects you badly, then it's likely that you are suffering right about now. If you look back a couple of clinic notes ago on my YouTube channel, you will see that I talked about top tips to help give your body the headspace, if you like, the headroom to deal with the extra irritant of the pollen as the numbers go up. And things that you can do would include reducing other allergens you've got. So if your body doesn't like wheat very much or dairy, just cut it out now, give it a break. It's trying to deal with too many things. And if you do that, sometimes if your symptoms are mild, that might be enough. Other herbs that are really useful: echinacea, nettle leaf and chamomile. You can easily get dried herbs, so tea bags. You can easily get those of each one of those separately. And I was saying a little while ago, I quite like to keep, obviously I've got my dispensary of herbs, but I quite like to keep a sort of emergency stash of single herb tea bags as well, which I can mix and match easily and take with me, particularly if, for example, my son's ill in the middle of the night, we need to do something quickly. Much better than faffing around with loose leaf herbs, I find. I'm all for keeping things simple. So I've got a box of echinacea tea bags, a box of chamomile tea bags, and a box of nettle leaf tea bags, and I put all three in a mug, and I would drink that hot or cold throughout the day and just keep making it up. If you can hear pacing in the background, by the way, it's my dog who's feeling very hot and is trying to find a cool place to lie down. Other things going on, some people talking about just being a bit overwhelmed by the lockdown end being delayed. Obviously in Scotland we haven't heard that yet. It's slightly different the way we're doing things, but certainly in England, the fact that things are being delayed, feeling a bit heavy. People fed up with the idea of staycations, people trying to make the best they can out of a staycation, and then finding that actually, because of all the restrictions, they're still feeling like they're in some kind of restricted zone, which of course they are, and for good reason. But I'm more talking about the emotional impact of that. So what I would say is, if you are going away, try not to make it the be all and end all of the summer. Try not to pin all your hopes on everyone getting along well and having a fabulous time. We tend to do that around summer holidays anyway, but I think if you're going somewhere hot and there's, I don't know, sangria or good beer or something, amazing beaches, then and being somewhere really different can take the edge off if it isn't all you had hoped the holiday would be. And my feeling is that what's happening is that we're trying to recreate that at home, and while it might well happen, if it doesn't, the sting is a bit more this year, because we're all fed up, let's face it. So I think those are the kind of three key things. So take care for the sudden breezes and the sudden temperature drops. Remember that, elementally speaking, if you are a hot and dry type, you are likely to get flare-ups of hot and dry type things at the moment. For example, maybe eczema, or if you have IBS that tends towards urgency, a bit more of that. If you are a cold and cold damp type elementally, you will likely be feeling a lot better at the moment. But any of us can get caught by that chill wind when you turn a corner, and that will go through what in traditional Chinese medicine they talk about is your wei qi, which kind of is like a zone that sits just out from your body. And if you're as old as I am, in your 40s, and you remember the Ready Brek kids, the Ready Brek advert, it kind of sits around your body like the Ready Brek glow. And in traditional Chinese medicine, they talk about that gets penetrated. That's the first line of your immune defense being, that's that moment when you think, I'm not sure that I feel right, or I'm really chilled. When you feel that, you need to go and do something about it immediately to support your body so that you can try to stop any, cough, cold, whatever, from penetrating into deeper layers and actually becoming symptomatic. So I hope that that's helpful. I'm aware also that schools in Scotland where I am are finishing up in 1 week, 1 week tomorrow. And while I know a lot of parents, my dog's now growling on the floor. Hang on, can you see him? There he is. Wait a minute, look, there he is. That big bundle of fluff. There you go. Yeah, you're on YouTube, mate. There you go. Okay, he's finished. He's commonly known as Herbal Dog. Yes, so in Scotland, while the summer holidays start in a week tomorrow, I know a lot of parents are talking about feeling really, really pleased that it's coming to an end because there's been a lot of self-isolation. One local school, their entire P2 years off self-isolating right now. It's been hard. Cases are rising of COVID, of course I'm talking about. And at the same time, dreading 8 weeks, the usual 8 weeks of trying to work. And actually often, and in my own case at the moment, with no childcare, because a lot of the childcare facilities that would have been open in the summertime are now not opening. So if you are a parent with school-aged children, just recognise that it's okay to be both of those things. It's okay to be looking forward to the whole shenanigans of school being done. It's also okay to be dreading the summer a little bit, and we can hold both those spaces. We're complex creatures. We don't need to be feeling one way or the other. So don't be surprised if your energy is a bit up and down, or your mood's flipping around a bit as you figure out how you're going to work your way through the summer. We will get there. But it's yet another thing we're being asked to adapt to. And like I've said many times before in my clinic notes, this has been the year of adapting. It's been the year we've been asked to adapt more than any other time in our lives, I think. And that's stressful for us. And we're tired now. So we need to be kind to ourselves and grab as much joy from the summertime as we possibly can, trying not to put too much weight on having a good time, and remembering if we're meeting up with others that everyone's approaching, has been through a different experience. What was that lovely phrase? We're all in the same storm, but some of us are in different boats. Okay, so we're all going through the same thing, but slightly differently. Some people might be a bit odd when you meet them for the first time. You know all this. Just making sure that you honour the pace at which you are ready to come back out into the world. Making sure that you honour that first before you worry about other people, actually. Taking care of yourself. Anyway, I hope that's helpful, and I shall speak to you again next week, and then I will be off clinic for a couple of weeks, but more about that